What if I told you that one of HBO's most acclaimed shows wasn't just brilliant fiction, but a mirror reflecting one of the world's most powerful families? The boardroom battles, the family betrayals, the ruthless power plays, all of it drawn from real life. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on Succession to reveal the shocking real-world inspirations that even die-hard fans might have missed. Hey there! Before we dive in, if you're fascinated by the inner workings of power and wealth, hit that subscribe button, because the truth behind fiction is often stranger than anything writers could imagine. The Roy family's saga has captivated audiences worldwide, but how much of it is pure imagination, and how much is ripped from the headlines of the Murdoch media empire? Let's uncover the 10 most shocking connections that prove sometimes reality truly is the best source of drama. I'm not a good person? Well, fuck off. That's Logan Roy, the foul-mouthed, ruthless patriarch at the center of Succession. But he might as well be Rupert Murdoch, the real-life media tycoon who built News Corporation into a global powerhouse controlling Fox News, The Wall Street Journal, and The Times of London. Both men share that same relentless drive, the same refusal to step aside for the next generation, and the same knack for playing their children against each other. Even Brian Cox, who portrays Logan, has admitted the parallels are impossible to ignore, though he insists his character is a composite of several media moguls. Did you notice that scene in Season 4, where Logan delivers a passionate speech while standing on paper boxes? That wasn't just dramatic flair. It was a direct reference to a 2007 moment when Rupert Murdoch stood on boxes to address Wall Street Journal staff after acquiring the newspaper. "We're a legacy media company in transition." Sound familiar? That's because Waystar Royco, with its news networks, entertainment divisions, and theme parks, mirrors the structure of News Corporation almost perfectly. The conservative cable network ATN is clearly Fox News. The newspapers, the entertainment divisions, even the cruise ship business, they all have real-world equivalents in Murdoch's empire. The writers didn't just borrow the business model, they captured the culture of cutthroat ambition that defined Murdoch's companies for decades. Have you ever wondered why the fictional company's scandals feel so authentic? That's because they're often inspired by News Corp's real-world controversies. I'm the eldest boy. Kendall's desperate cry for legitimacy echoes the real-life position of Lachlan Murdoch, Rupert's son who was groomed for succession before temporarily walking away from the family business. Both were positioned as heirs apparent, both struggled under the weight of their father's expectations, and both were repeatedly criticized for not being tough enough to lead. That moment when Logan tells Kendall he's not a killer. It mirrors real concerns about Lachlan's temperament for the cutthroat world of media. Isn't it fascinating how Kendall's desperate need for his father's approval, despite his repeated attempts to overthrow him, creates the same toxic dynamic that reportedly existed between Rupert and his children? The sardonic, boundary-pushing Roman Roy shares striking similarities with James Murdoch, Rupert's second son. Both positioned themselves as the rebellious outsiders of their families, and both eventually found themselves at odds with their father's values. In 2020, James Murdoch resigned from News Corp's board, citing disagreements over certain editorial content, a move that echoes Roman's occasional moral qualms about ATN's content. Though Roman never fully broke away like James did, the tension between personal ethics and family loyalty is a central conflict for both characters. What would you do if staying loyal to your family meant compromising your principles? It's a question both the fictional Roman and the real James had to answer. I'm the only one who Dad talks to about real things. Shiv's confidence in her special position within the Roy family directly parallels Elisabeth Murdoch's relationship with her father. Both women were alternately brought close to power and then pushed away, teased with the possibility of succession, only to watch their brothers receive preferential treatment. Elisabeth built her own successful media company outside her father's empire, just as Shiv established her political career before being lured back to Waystar. The question that haunts both women: were they ever really in contention for the throne, or merely pawns in their father's games? Remember that explosive dinner scene where Logan pits his children against each other? That wasn't just gripping television. It was inspired by a real 2005 crisis in the Murdoch family. When Rupert Murdoch remarried after divorcing the mother of Elisabeth, Lachlan, and James, a succession crisis erupted. Initially, Rupert named Lachlan as his heir, only to change his mind later, creating deep family rifts. This family drama directly inspired Season 2's storyline of shifting alliances and brutal betrayals. Imagine having your future decided over dinner conversation. That's the reality the Murdoch children faced, and what the Roy siblings experience throughout the series. We're buying local TV stations. We're buying a national. Logan's strategic acquisitions throughout the series parallel Murdoch's real-life expansion tactics from the 1990s and 2000s. When the Roys attempt to purchase PGM Pierce Global Media, it directly references Murdoch's 2007 acquisition of Dow Jones and the Wall Street Journal from the Bancroft family. The family dynamics, the resistance, the eventual capitulation, all pulled from real headlines. Ask yourself, do you think the writers exaggerated these takeover battles, or did they actually tone them down from the real-world drama? It's no coincidence that Succession feels so authentic. The show's writers consulted with former News Corp executives to get the details right. From boardroom politics to family dynamics, these insiders provided the writers with ammunition for their satirical take on media dynasties. This explains why even small details, like Roman's irreverent behavior in meetings or Kendall's corporate jargon, feel so painfully accurate. These aren't just character quirks. They're behaviors observed in real executive suites. Does it make you wonder what other real conversations have made their way into the show's scripts? No real person involved. That chilling phrase from Succession's cruise ship scandal has parallels to the notorious phone hacking scandal that engulfed Murdoch's UK newspapers in the early 2000s. While the specifics differ, both scandals involved cover-ups, corporate denials, and eventually painful public testimony. When Logan appears before a congressional committee, it mirrors Rupert Murdoch's appearance before British Parliament, right down to the defiant attitude and reluctant apologies. The fallout from these scandals reshapes both the fictional Waystar Royco and the real News Corp, forcing a reckoning with toxic corporate cultures that prioritized profits over ethics. In perhaps the ultimate meta-twist, Rupert Murdoch and his family are reportedly fans of Succession, despite, or perhaps because of, its uncomfortably close parallels to their own lives. While they've never publicly commented on the similarities, sources close to the family claim they watch with a mix of amusement and shock at how accurately the show captures their dynamics. Imagine watching a thinly veiled version of your family's darkest moments played out for entertainment. Would you be flattered or horrified to see your family drama transformed into award-winning television? The line between Succession and reality blurs in ways that make the show even more compelling once you know the backstory. While the creators maintain it's not a direct portrayal of any single family, The parallels are too striking to ignore. So next time you watch Logan Roy manipulating his children, or Kendall making another desperate power play, remember, somewhere in the real world, similar scenes have likely played out in the Murdoch Empire. What do you think? Does knowing the real-life inspiration make you appreciate the show more? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed these shocking connections, hit that like button and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes revelations about your favorite shows. Until next time, till next.